beautiful people. It's Vic with Vibrant with Vic, and I'm really excited to be sharing your yoga practice with you today. If you've never been with me, I combine psychological principles with some gentle movements in yoga, and we have a chair back there. We're going to use our chair a little bit today. We're going to be doing a lot of standing, just getting up and moving, and using our chair as balance if that works for us today. So a couple things to remember whenever you practice with me. We tend to the physical body, we tend to the mental body, and we tend to the emotional body. So as we go through the practice today, we want to listen to first our physical body, so our gut center, our intuition, see if that has anything to tell us. And remembering with our physical body that everything I do is merely a suggestion. My body is different than your body, and your body is different today than it was yesterday, and then it will be tomorrow. Left is different than right, so being really mindful of what your body needs today. Psychology also tells us that we think thousands upon thousands of thoughts every day, and oftentimes those thoughts don't serve us. Those are critical thoughts that we've gotten from others, and getting behind that wise mind by being more mindful. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose to the present moment with non-judgmental awareness. So we're going to be that non-judgmental observer and seeing if we can get behind all of those thoughts and stop any critical thoughts that don't serve us before they take hold today. Okay. And lastly, our emotional body. So emotions are just energy in motion. And when we start moving and really tuning inward to ourselves, oftentimes emotions come up. We might find ourselves getting frustrated or critical back in the mind because of what's happening in the body and these emotions that are rising up. And just knowing that just getting them up and out can be enough. That can be what we need today if we're in a safe place to be able to allow that. And I want to give a shout out to Virtual Veg Fest Live. I'm excited to be here with you all today. Please check out their website for their monthly contest. Also check out the sponsor, Terra Seed. And check out my website. You can see all of this information below. I'm at vibrantwithvic.com, and I offer group classes, I offer individual classes, and I would love to work with you all a little more. So let's get started. Okay, so coming into a comfortable seat, if you want to lay down for this, you can. But before you do, just do a little bit of intuitive movement here. Moving in whatever way feels good to you. Seeing if your body wants anything in particular today. This might have been the first time that you're tending to it in a really cognizant way. And whenever you're ready, gently coming inward by closing your eyes or casting your gaze downward. And notice what's happening in your body right now. Notice the breath. Breathing here. Maybe trying to invite that breath to slow down a little bit. We often go through the world in more of a sympathetic nervous system response, more of a fight or flight response. We don't even know it. And we can control that nervous system a bit by inviting that parasympathetic rest and digest nervous system on board with the breath. So that's our link. So slowing down here by inviting that breath deeper into the belly. Slowing down the breath. And let's think about those three intelligence centers that I talked about before: the physical body, the emotional body, and the mental body. And let's breathe deeply as we move into our three-part breath. So we breathe deeply into that belly. So the belly button expands outward, breathing up into that heart space and up into the head space. And then as we exhale head, heart, belly. So continuing that deep breath, belly, heart, head, heart, belly. All three centers as we inhale deeply and exhale at your own pace. And noticing what's going on in the body and the mind and the heart as you do. So as you inhale in the belly, think about if that gut or intuition center has anything to say to you. And then the heart space, the emotional center. And then all the way up into the head space. See if there's any wisdom there for you today. And then exhaling head, heart, belly. And as we think about the new moon that's going to happen for the second time this month, along with a partial solar eclipse, we can think of these new beginnings that we want to make in our lives. Which brings us to our quote, "Great things never come from comfort zones." Great things never come from comfort zones. So maybe thinking about as you nourish that intuition center, that heart space, and that head space, what comes to mind when you hear great things never come from comfort zones? And how these three centers can support you to step out of your comfort zone and do these great things that you want to accomplish in this next lunar cycle. And as we sit here with our eyes closed or cast gently downward, another technique that we like to use to really presence ourselves, that we can use anytime throughout the day when things get stressful or we just find ourselves feeling agitated, is grounding into the senses. So bringing your awareness to your skin and notice all the sensations that you feel in your skin right now. Picking out the individual sensations, maybe the temperature of the space around you, or if you have body parts like hands sitting on other body parts like legs. Whatever you're sitting on or lying on, really feeling it support you here. Notice how that feels in our heart space. If we really feel supported, instead of just sitting on something, it's really holding us and supporting us. Notice how that feels in your body. And then bringing your attention to your nose and seeing if there are any fragrances in the air. And then to your ears and noticing how many distinct sounds you can pick out from your environment around you. Just a few more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes and looking out into your space around you, and notice where your eyes are drawn to. Notice the colors and the textures and the shapes of things in your environment. And see if you can find anything in your environment that really supports that heart space, that really supports you to move out of your comfort zone and do great things. And if you can't find anything in your environment, maybe picturing that in your mind's eye. And wherever you see it, knowing that you can conjure up this good feeling at any time as you go through and need a little extra support stepping outside of that comfort zone. Great job. So let's get moving here. So we'll come into a standing position. We sit so much. So let's get into the standing position. We'll just shake out our bodies a little bit. Just move intuitively here. And we'll come into our willow tree. So thinking about whether you're doing yoga or not each day, but moving our spine in all 6 directions. So we're going to start off with our willow tree, which is our back and forth twisting movement. So having our feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, really grounding into those feet, maybe picking up those toes and placing them down one at a time, feeling the energy coming up from the ground, those strong legs, just being careful not to lock out those knees. We can engage our pelvic floor, squeezing those pelvic floor muscles, squeezing that core in, opening up that heart space, crown of the head towards the sky, really feeling that spine grow long. Deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to start moving around the hips. So the hip creases stay towards the front. And we're going to start moving around those hips. Bringing our awareness to our neck and head. Notice what that's doing. And then down to our shoulders. And then down to our torso, moving around our hips as our hips stay pointed forward. Gently tapping our body can help break up that fascia a little bit and wake up those internal organs. And now let's incorporate our hips. So we'll move our hips with our bodies, bringing our attention to those hips, maybe lifting the heel that we're turning away from, and using that breath to support us. Breathing here. Nice job. And we're going to gently slow that down as if the breeze is calming on a windy day. Nice. And from here, we're going to go side to side with our spine. So once again, looking at our alignment, now we're bringing those feet more under our hips, still grounding in all 4 corners, lifting up through those arches, strong legs without locking out the knees, strong core here. Inhaling up. Exhaling, we'll drop the right hand down and reach up and over with the left. Thinking about reaching out through both of the side bodies, growing up and long instead of crunching over. Up and long. Just a slight movement, grounding into that left foot. Inhaling up. We'll exhale to the other side. Maybe looking up towards your lifted hand if that feels good on your neck. Really thinking about growing long here, pressing into that right foot. Inhaling up, and we'll go into a little bit of a flow at your own pace. So we inhale as we come up and reach for the sky, and we exhale as we move to the side. Thinking about our strength, our courage here to step out of our comfort zone and do those great things that we wanted to accomplish. And these great things don't have to be big. Setting small goals for yourself. Next time we come bent over to the left, since we started to the right, we're going to reach for the sky. And exhale those hands to heart center. Nice job. Shaking that out. Okay, from here we're going to come into some half sun salutations. So coming into our mountain pose. Once again, thinking about that strong body here. So grounding into those feet, lifting those arches, really engaging those legs without locking out the knees, engaging that core, opening that heart space. Let's pause for a moment in mountain. Hands towards the front of the mat, long spine, crown of the head towards the sky. Really feeling the strength in this mountain, really feeling engagement in all of your muscles here, opening that heart space. And if our eyes are closed or cast downward, this can be a balance pose too. Really feeling into the strength of that unshakable mountain. The breeze that shook the willow tree can't shake you now. Excellent. And on our next inhale, we'll open our eyes or look up and reach up into our slight back bend. And exhale, swan dive forward into our forward fold, hanging here for just a few breaths, bending one knee and then the other. Perhaps you want to interlace your hands with your elbow creases and sway side to side. Whatever feels good to you. Maybe shaking your head here, yes, no. Really inviting that release here. Nice job. And when you're ready, dropping those hands down, we'll come up into halfway lift. So making contact somewhere on your legs to get that 90-degree angle, looking down at the ground, long spine here. We'll exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, root to rise, bending your knees as much as you need to protect your back, coming up into a slight back bend, squeezing those glutes to support you. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhaling. Exhaling, going with your own breath or following my lead. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, root to rise. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Notice this is our forwards and backwards movement of our spine, the last of the 6 ways. One more time like that, and then we're going to do a modification. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, root to rise, exhaling, hands to heart center. Nice job. Let's shake that up. And now we're going to do this with a little chair in it. So with our chair pose, we can have our chair behind us if we want to help imagine ourselves sitting down in a chair. But we're just going to do some of those half sun salutations, incorporating a little bit of a chair pose in there. So grounding, once again, really strong engagement in the body. We'll inhale up into that slight back bend. And here we'll exhale our hands to our heart center as we sit back like we're going to sit in that chair. So how much you sit down is totally up to you. Not all the way down to the chair, but sticking that bottom back and bending into those knees. Inhaling deeply here. And we'll exhale, forward fold, straightening those legs a bit more. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, root to rise. Slight back bend. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling. Hands come to prayer, sitting back in our chair. Few breaths here. Then a deep inhale. And we'll exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, sitting back in that chair. We'll pause here for just a second. Really feeling the engagement of those legs, that core to support you. Really feel your spine growing long, sitting back. Deep inhale. And on the exhale, a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, rising up into our slight back bend, engaging those glutes. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Nice work. Okay, let's shake that up. Now let's work on some standing poses that can incorporate balance here. So if you want, you can use your chair here to help with your balance. So remember that all of our poses are just play poses. We especially think about that with balance because balance can be challenging, and the more we work on the things that challenge us, the more we can build new neural connections to improve. So watch what your mind is saying and bring it back to that idea of play if it wants to be that critical mind, right? So let's start by grounding into the left foot. So we'll ground down into that left foot, really using that core to support us here. And if you want to use the chair, maybe you want to try to use the chair on and off, we can bring that back foot up and thinking about lengthening out through that leg. If you don't need the chair, you can lift up with your arm, lift out, or having the chair. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Hands on the hip can help you as well to move in and out of that chair position, supported. Nice job. Breathing here. And then you can either bring this right foot down, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, staying in this balance pose, holding onto the chair or not, we'll swing that leg forward, holding under the knee or behind the upper leg, and we'll balance this way, maybe rolling our ankle around in one direction and another. Nice work. Hand can be wherever you want that left hand to be. And then maybe opening up to that right side. Nice work. Closing that hip and gently lowering and shaking that out. Awesome work. Okay, coming to the other side. Having that chair there with you for support at any time you need it. Grounding into that right foot this time, really feeling that strong core supporting you here. We'll inhale, and on the exhale, bringing that leg up. Left foot is being held and supported as we stretch out that left leg, knee towards the earth. Whatever position our hand wants to be in here is perfect. Our right hand can do whatever it needs to do to help support you. Breathing here. And then for that added challenge, if you want to bring that knee forward, that left knee can come forward while you're standing, or you can bring it down while you're balancing, or you can bring it down to help you. And then we will roll the ankle in one way and then the other. Nice work. Breathing here. Opening up that hip. Working on that balance, coming in and out of this pose as much as we need to. Using that breath to support you and using that wise mind to get behind all the chatter, any judgment. Closing up that hip and slowly shaking that out. And then doing any intuitive movements you want to do here before we come and sit in stillness for a bit as we go through a bit of progressive relaxation. So getting comfortable wherever, if you want to sit in your chair, if you want to lie down, just really feeling supported wherever you sit here. Feeling the support of the chair or the floor. And gently closing your eyes or casting your gaze downward again to turn inward and to tune in just a little bit more, and feeling this wave of relaxation washing down your body as I guide you in this progressive relaxation. Noticing the crown of your head, feeling any stress that's there just melting down your face. Taking any tension of the face with it. Maybe moving your jaw side to side a little bit to invite release there. Feeling all sides of your neck relax. as that tension melts down your body, as your shoulders glide down away from your ears, and that stress melts down your arms, past your wrists, hands, and fingertips, taking any tension that's being held there with it out into the space around you. And then bringing your attention back up to those shoulders that hold so much tension, opening up and softening that heart space, feeling those shoulder blades glide down the back, feeling your rib cage release and your belly relax. And imagining one vertebra at a time as we travel down the upper back to the middle back to the lower back, just letting go. The pelvis releases and any remaining tension melts down the legs, past the ankles, feet, and toes, and out into your space. And then doing a quick scan to see if there's anywhere else in your body that's still holding tension, and inviting it to release, and noticing if it doesn't want to. Letting it know that that's okay too. Just letting it know that you hear it, you're aware of it. That could be enough. And as we go into our final few minutes of silent relaxation, I'll mind the time and ring a bell to take you in and ring a bell to bring you out. No need to rush. I'll gently bring you out to close out class. Slowly bringing yourself back to this place, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. If you're lying down, maybe coming to one side and pausing. Wherever you are, remembering great things never come from comfort zones. As you move out into your day, maybe thinking how you can support yourself to move out of your comfort zone and do some more great things. Maybe thanking your body for all it was able to do today and yourself for showing up today. And when you're ready, gently coming up into a seated position. If you're not already there, taking a few inhales and exhales. And on the next inhale, we'll raise our arms up overhead, bringing our hands together and slowly bringing our hands down the midline, pausing at the forehead as a reminder to think kind thoughts. Down to the lips as a reminder to speak kind words. And down to the heart space as a reminder to do kind deeds, not just for others, but most importantly for yourself. It's my wish that you and all beings everywhere are happy, healthy, safe, and free. And until we meet again, I wish you so much peace. Thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me today. I hope to see you at vibrantwithvik.com. Check out Virtual Veg Fest Live and Terra Seed, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.